All right. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Sorry, my camera's a little blurry. I can't figure out what it is. I wiped the screen. It's not dirty. That's not what it is. Anyways, so the jury is deliberating right now in the Zachary Latham stabbing trial. He is on trial for manslaughter. I've posted previous videos with all the information, but I do want to show the incident just so we know what we're talking about. This is what led to the stabbing. The video is being taken by Sarah, which is Zachary's wife. Zachary is there on the screen in the suit. I've gone over this many times in my other videos, but that is the victim who was stabbed's truck blocking Zach from getting home, and
I didn't hit you, though, man.
that lady that he's arguing with is the wife of the victim, William Durham. That's who she is.
She said you did.
No, I did not say that. You know what? I said you You're 18. Come on. You're 18. Come on. Get out of his face.
Get out of my face.
Get out of his face. No.
Get out of my face.
Get out of his face. Oh, did you hit me? Did you hit me? Ow.
So you'll hear a lot about that incident in the closing arguments. Here's the actual incident.
I promise you better back up because you're not going to like what's coming out. I promise you. No. No. Back out. Back up.
That gentleman right there is who was stabbed and killed by Zachary. They're attacking Zachary right now on his property. And again, the film is being taken by Sarah, Zach's wife.
Babe! Get off of our property.
Oh, you got his house on my property.
Get off of our property. You hear him say it several times, and you'll see that in the closing argument.
Get off our property.
And that is where the stabbing took place. Okay, so this video here is the reason I'm making this is we're going to go over the closing arguments from the prosecution and the defense's side. So first I'm going to play the prosecution's closing arguments, and we'll go from there.
I hit him. That's what sets it off. His continued, repeated lies about what he actually did from his perspective. And then once he's confronted with those lies and the false accusations that he was making, he does this.
That is a still picture of the video I just showed you of Zachary hitting Catherine, slapped her phone out of her hand.
Now, whether he was just trying to get the cell phone out of the way, there was no reason for him to place his hands on Tiffany at that point.
So Tiffany is Catherine Durham. I don't know why this whole family goes by different names, or William Timothy Durham and all this. Catherine, Tiffany Durham. Anyways, so the prosecution is trying to say that is what set off the whole incident. And yeah, I'm not saying Zach was right for that, but what set off the whole incident is the fact that they pulled into the road and blocked Zach from going home. That's what started the incident. Anyways, so now the prosecution goes into Zach's false statements. He told the police, I'll just play the video.
When you look at the credibility in this case, look at the defendant's own words and analyzing his state of mind. Use his words to analyze his state of mind as to what happened down at 2986 Thornhill. When you look at his statements and you look at all of them and take them in context as a whole, what, if any, truth is there throughout his version of events from the evening of May 4th up to when he's interviewed at the Bond Police Department the next day on May 5th? It is full of distortion and deception from that moment at 2900 up to when he gives his interview. If he has an honest and reasonable belief that deadly force was appropriate and necessary at the time, there would be no reason to alter the facts. no reason to provide a different version. The defendant's lies, again, started at 2900 Thornhill. And yes, the end of that video that Ms. Long played for you doesn't give the full picture. Because when they are driving away from 2900 down to 2986, call the cops, tell them they assaulted, and then it breaks off. You've seen the videos, you've seen the still shots. You know the context of that interaction at 2900. Was there an assault? The defendant at that point is upping the game. He is upping the interaction. He is making it more than what it was. When he calls 911 after the incident happens, there were 10 of them. They came on the property with guns.
So basically the prosecution is trying to tear apart him because he lied a few times to the police. He said that there was 10 of them with guns. He was in the heat of the moment. And there is audio of Timothy Durham saying, get the gun to his son. So, I mean, it's not all crazy. Here's what I really thought this was funny. So the prosecution tried to say that, oh, the Durhams aren't capable. What was he scared of? They're not big. It doesn't matter. The law says that if he's on his own property, he can protect himself. Doesn't matter how capable they are.
Is Gage big and capable? Was Billy, his demeanor, that of a big and capable person? When you saw the photographs and the description that were provided by Dr. Williams, was Tim big and capable?
So Tim, Billy, and William are the Durhams. That is the two sons and the father of Catherine Durham. Timmy is the one that was stabbed and killed, and the prosecution is talking about how they're not capable. They're not big and capable.
Now, the defendant in his statement compares Lieutenant Breslin with how big Tim was, but you saw that for yourself. As far as the question of size.
So yeah, that's the prosecution trying to say that they are not big and capable. And then here he goes on to say that Zachary is very capable.
As you heard in his statement, he has had military training. He's in the National Guard. He went to basic training. He was trained in hand-to-hand combat. When it comes to recklessness, the defendant had been taught about how to defend yourself. If you need to defend yourself, what you're going to be doing.
That's not a good argument. Just because he knows how to defend himself doesn't mean that he's in the wrong here. Doesn't mean that he can't protect himself on his own property. I mean, he's just kind of going into shit that is pointless, in my opinion.
How to use that knife, how you're going to interact with somebody in a situation. He was fully aware the manner in which he used the knife was capable of causing death.
Anyways, let's move on. So here is the prosecution going on to say that Zachary was not in fear for his life.
It's what you hear that matters. Regardless of what he says and how he says it, the question is whether or not there's an honest and reasonable belief that his safety is in danger. If it was, he wouldn't have left his wife and his friends out in the driveway.
He's trying to say just because Zach ran inside and left his wife out front means that he didn't think he was in danger. There was 4 of them pulling up to his property. I mean, that video that I played at the beginning looked like he was in a little bit of danger.
Wouldn't have happened moments later. It would have happened immediately. If it was an honest and reasonable belief after that interaction at 2900, he wouldn't have stopped at his house. A reasonable person perhaps will continue by their house to get to safety. They would have called 911. They wouldn't have stopped 500 feet away. The other people that were...
So in the beginning, I played the incident that led up to this stabbing and the death, and basically they're saying, oh, since he went home, he didn't think he was in danger. I mean, he probably thought he was in danger, so he went home so he could get a knife. Alrighty, so I'm gonna play. This is a photo of the bloody garage where the incident happened. Basically, the prosecution is trying to tear apart Zachary's statement to police that it happened in his garage, and then the fight ensued and went into his kitchen.
Garage to the inside of the garage, and I'll get to a little more about what happened inside the garage as I move on. But when you look at where things took place, it's clear the defendant was trying to legitimize and make it sound as though he had an honest and reasonable belief when none ever existed. There is nothing substantiating that claim. Nothing was out of place in the kitchen. You heard the testimony.
Okay, well, either way, whether it happened in the garage or the kitchen, I mean, that just further supports the defense's claim. I mean, that blood, let's look, that blood is in his garage. Your garage is part of your property. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? The blood is in his garage. That is part of his property. That's where the incident occurred. Self-defense. And so that's pretty much all I got from the prosecution's closing arguments. So now I'm going to go into the defense's let me just play basically the last statement that the prosecution said.
The evidence, determine the truth, and come to a just verdict. Ladies and gentlemen, I submit to you that based on the evidence that the verdict is guilty of reckless manslaughter, aggravated assault, possession of a weapon for unlawful purpose, and unlawful possession of a weapon. Again, I thank you for your attention.
So remember that, unlawful possession of a weapon. Here in a moment, I'm going to play the defense's closing arguments, and she goes over what the law in New Jersey is. And you don't have to have any sort of, you can carry a knife or a gun on your property without any sort of like a concealed carry or any sort of licenses. All right, here's the defense.
Exactly what happened in this case.
I think this gal laid out a really good closing argument for the defense.
You got to see the Durhams block Zach driving down the road to his house.
So I don't know yet. They were on lunch break, and I hadn't seen that there was a verdict yet. I was trying to push this video. Through before. I'm gonna jump on Court TV right now on my phone. Did they say what the verdict was? They haven't said it yet, right? They just the deliberations are over. The clock stopped. I did not know that. I assumed it was going to be coming quick, so I was going to hurry up and try to get these closing arguments out, and then go ahead and do it live when the verdict comes.
You got to see Zach flee to his house. You got to see the Durhams pull up to the house. You got to see them storm the garage, and you got to see them attack Zach.
Thank you for letting me know.
They told you themselves. It was intentional. Gage sat there and told you.
They read it.
That was the plan.
It better
Billy
be not
you.
guilty.
My understanding of you got me was absolutely that I was going to physically
Better
confront
be not
Zach,
guilty.
and I wasn't going to stop.
It's not guilty. It better be. I'm still on Court TV. I'm still seeing the lunchtime thingy. Then there still looks like I'm not seeing it yet. It better be not guilty. I mean, I would like to think so. All right, he'll let me play it. All right,
Start
cool.
by talking though a little bit.
All righty. So, as one of our commenters has shown, they are, he says, just got here, but there is a verdict. So, we will have an update on what the verdict is here soon. That's exciting stuff. I really hope it's not guilty. I will play it. Alrighty. So I'm going to go on and play a little bit more from the closing arguments from the defense. So, basically, this is what started it all.
Next.
I mean, they're blocking Zach's access to go home. This Catherine, she puts a bad taste in my
We
mouth.
have the first video from Sarah's phone. You've watched it several times. You can see for yourself exactly what happens.
Anyways, I played that at the beginning. So here was one of the what this defense said right here really hit home with me. She was basically saying that Catherine basically said, "Did you hit me? Did you hit me?" She incited violence. She incited her family to go commit violence. She was provoking her family.
See, and she's standing there, and all of a sudden she goes, "Did you just hit me?" And she looks off to the side where her husband is, because she knows that if her husband thinks that Zach just hit her, that's enough. She's gonna get what she wants. Her husband's gonna come storming over. She's just incited her 2 children and her husband to commit violence against Zach.
I like that. That hits home. That is what she did. She incited violence. She should be charged. Her charges should not have been dropped. That really pisses me off. Anyways, alrighty. So I'm gonna play. This is the defense talking about the law.
So let's talk a little bit about the law in this case, because the law is going to be important. There's something in the state of New Jersey called the Castle Doctrine, and that's the right to self-defense, the right to protect one's bodily integrity, particularly to protect one's bodily integrity in the home. It's the essence of what it is to be an American. It's the essence of what it is to be a New Jersey resident. It comes directly from Article 1, Paragraph 1 of the New Jersey Constitution. It is the first thing in our Constitution that you have that right to protect yourself, particularly in your home.
Yeah, so I mean, you have the right to protect yourself in your home. There's some more law from the defense.
The necessity of retreating, if it can be done safely before using deadly force, only applies outside the dwelling. Zach is never required to retreat from attack in his dwelling. In his dwelling, the force that Zach uses to respond need not be proportionate. He may respond to any attack with deadly force. Again, inside the dwelling includes the threshold to the dwelling. Furthermore, these are the things that the medical examiner told you can cause death. And it's stomping, punching, kicking.
I'm not
chokeholds.
seeing
They
anything
can
about
all
the
cause
verdict.
death.
We had a viewer say that there was a verdict. I'm not seeing a verdict yet. I'm sure that they reached one, but I guess I haven't seen anything yet. Anyways, so that was some powerful stuff that the defense was talking about the law, about retreating. The prosecution was saying Zachary should have retreated. Well, that only is in play when you're not on your own property. And anyways, the prosecution was trying to make a big deal about where Zach was standing.
And as you can see in these pictures, and the state wants to make a big deal again about whether Zach's feet are on the black or the white. But again, that's not the law. You can consider the threshold. If somebody's trying to intrude, he doesn't need to wait until they are all the way into the garage before he tries to prevent the intrusion. He's allowed to try to stand in his threshold and prevent them from coming in. And that's what the law says. And it'll tell you things like a porch is considered part of the dwelling. Okay? And it's...
Anyways, so yeah, the prosecution was trying to make a big deal. They're trying to say,
just whether Zach's
they're trying to say like, oh, look, his feet are outside of his garage. It doesn't matter. He's on his side. He's on his own parking lot or driveway. The only thing that I was slightly worried about was that technically Zachary technically took the first swing. If you look there on the picture, he swung the knife at the guy in the gray shirt, which was, I believe, Billy, one of the sons. Technically, he swung first, technically, but they were on his property. I don't blame him for that. I would have swung too. I mean, if we can't defend ourselves on our property without having to worry about every little thing. Here's a really funny clip of, so if you guys know anything about this case, you know that Zachary was going viral on TikTok by calling her a Karen. Well, the defense accidentally called her Karen.
All that it was Catherine, I'm sorry, when Sarah first says, get off me, and she's falling down, and the camera's still, you saw that it was Karen when Catherine.
And if you know anything about this trial, you know that Catherine hated that. There's video of Zachary calling her a Karen, and that's part of what caused this whole trial. Anyways, I thought that was pretty funny. Here is a slide of what everyone was saying during the incident.
Yes. What are you going to do about it? You're 18 now. Again, why are they now so gung-ho that Zach's 18? Why do they feel that
She's right. They were talking about him being 18 a lot. And that's why. Why were they so set on you're 18 now?
Makes it okay to physically attack him, to block his road, to restrain him in his path. Why is that okay? Because he's 18 years old.
There is a verdict.
He turned 18 2 weeks before.
There is a verdict,
They're
folks.
grown adults. They're in their 50s, and they're gonna block a kid coming down the road, and then they're gonna follow him to his home, and they're gonna attack him because they think that they can do all that. And that's why we're here.
There is a verdict, folks. There is a verdict. Let me see if I can't get this verdict and show it to everybody. Let me see what else I got. Let's see. Here's the defense's last statement.
Attacking Sarah. Members of the jury, you have listened to and seen all the evidence in the case. You know exactly what happened on that day. You know that Zachary was acting in self-defense.
Oh, baby. It is what it is, folks. Let's see. What is it? Wow. Wow. Verdict has been reached. I'm going to go ahead and end the live, and I'm going to post another video about the verdict. All right, everybody, thank you for tuning in. A verdict has been reached. I'm going to make another video reacting to the verdict. All righty.